spent a lot of time thinking about and looking at what's going on south of the border, but we had light speed.
Yes. So Canada, right? Let's talk about Canada for a second, you know, and I don't want, in the context of a decade, not so much, but in the context of the last 5 or 6 years, we've got the best engineers in the world up here. If you don't believe me, just ask Google, Amazon, Uber, all of whom have opened up head offices here to poach the best, sometimes on the back of our government, which is a separate issue. We've got the best engineers, second and third time entrepreneurs coming back to the country to invest, add their mentorship, do it again in Canada. And the result, and the money's starting to flow, of course, right? So we've got the venture money and the government getting behind and opening up the borders for immigration. A lot of things have conspired to actually make Canada a hotbed for technology growth. And we've had 3, I would suggest, successful IPOs out of this recently. This year being Lightspeed, and of course everybody knows the Shopify story, which has continued to kill it this year, by the way. There's a small one that's been launched here from Europe called Docebo, which has launched and held its value. So there hasn't been a ton of them, but the bones are being laid, right? The foundation for success here is being laid. And historically, we've sold more companies. I think third most behind the US and the UK, certainly the most per capita. We sell early a lot. But I'm hopeful that with this foundation and the private capital being supportive of growth, that we're actually going to see a fair bit more Canadian IPOs.
And will we be able to keep them here? I mean, I guess that's always a big, and when they do stay here, sometimes they get big and blow up. I mean, that's been a history of Canadian high tech.
So a couple of reasons why we've sold early in the past. One is the capital. We haven't had the follow-on capital to write the bigger rounds. I think that's being addressed. And the second has been absolutely talent, right? So it doesn't help that we're competing with Google and Amazon for our best engineers in our own backyard. But at the same time, we've been the most liberal in terms of letting smart immigrants into the country, right? And helped by the fact that they're not as welcome in the States right now as they used to be. So we've taken advantage of that. So I'm optimistic that we will be able to solve that issue. We're getting better at offshoring when we have to, you know, hire tech workers that can do commodity type work. We're finding our way to do it. Talent still remains the #1 issue.
Bruce, you're going to stay with us for after the break. We're going to look at, we've been looking at losers and winners. We're going to dig a little deeper into some of the names we haven't so far addressed. We'll be right back. Stay with us.